I love talking about this kind of stuff. I'm pleased now to be joined by two members of the Notre Dame Advisory Council for Undergraduate Experience, Jim and Chris Corgel, and Father Paul Doyle, a Holy Cross priest who is rector of Dillon Hall at Notre Dame. Welcome to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It is indeed a big pleasure to have you here. Let's start talking about residence life at Notre Dame. Chris, I understand that you and your family recently made a gift of an endowed rectorship to the university, specifically for the rector of Dillon Hall. What made you move to do such a generous gift?
Well, when this opportunity was first presented to us, it was one of those things that just sounded perfect for us. Jim is not only a loyal son of Notre Dame, but he's a very proud alumni of Dillon Hall, or as he calls it, the Big Red Machine. And it was such an important part of his undergraduate experience. I'm part of the Notre Dame family by marriage, so it still amazes me. Every time we meet someone new from Notre Dame, the first question they ask after what year did you graduate, it's not what was your major, what do you do, where did you come from, it's where did you live.
Isn't that remarkable?
It's amazing. It's unique. You know, it really goes to show how important this sense of community that's built as part of residential life here at Notre Dame is. And obviously, this wouldn't happen by itself. It's due to the very hard work of the men and women like Father Paul Doyle, who are the rectors of our residence halls. So I think through this work, people like my husband have this gift of this, you know, community feeling that they really can take really throughout their life.
Do you just embrace everyone in a big hug if they happen to say Dillon Hall when answering that question?
Well, there's no secret handshake, but there is quite a bit of clarity on where we stand.
I bet.
With our opinions.
A little bit of loyalty for
that's
sure.
For sure.
Oh, that's remarkable. Father Doyle, you've been the rector, I understand, of Dillon Hall for nearly 20 years. That's quite the assignment. Can you speak to the position and just what that means to you?
Tricia, maybe it would help to look at it through the eyes of my classmates who come back, especially in the fall, and visit over there and just watch the traffic in and around my room in Dillon and say, Doyle, how do you get work like this? They just can't believe what they're seeing. I see the role as a pastoral role. That's what it means to me. They are my gifts, a parish priest, basically. And since 1985, I've been on campus in various roles and always gravitate towards something pastoral, and as opposed to an administrator or a scholar. But that's who I am, and this is my parish. I love it, and I love the young men who move through there. I remember the first year as it ended, I cried when everybody left at the end of the year. I haven't done it since. That was the first time in my life people had left me. So what does it mean to me? It's my first brush at parenting. It's a unique parish, and my role, as I see it, is chiefly pastoral, but that has lots of tentacles into folks' lives, from lost keys to disciplinary conversations. But this is the fourth week of Easter, you know, and we're talking a lot about the Good Shepherd. So that's the vision, I think, is to help shepherd these men. And there's no doubt in my mind that I'm a lot better for living with them all these years. I'm certainly ennobled by the goodness that they embody.
Well, you have been a good shepherd for all of these young men. Jim, this is your chance to shine now. Just, if you would please, share what the undergraduate student experience is like and how and why it's so deeply important to you.
Well, it's very important to me because it's such a privilege to be associated with Notre Dame. And I tell every either applicant or someone who's here, last night we had dinner with some students and one of the university leaders, and I said, you're so lucky because you get the best of both worlds. You get an outstanding education in the classroom, and the other major component of a wonderful campus life is the residence halls. And the rector is the one who makes the difference. The people that they hire as their resident assistants, they're the ones who make the difference. So if a Notre Dame education gets baked in the classroom, it gets cemented in the residence hall.
That's that's well put right there.
And believe me, the Notre Dame education and experience is most applied when you leave here. It's the only university I know of where people, when they hear you went here, they have questions. They want to know how different it was. And that's because of the care and the character that gets built by the rector and his team. So as Chris said earlier, we felt this was a perfect way for us to give back because we know nothing's ever going to happen to this community life that we have here, and we just want to play a role in making sure of that in the Big Red Machine.
Well, God bless you for looking out for
thanks.
that specific
Thank you.
need and knowing that it has a future. And the rectorship is such an important part of this, as you've mentioned.
We believe so.
Well, thank you all for joining us. And Father, thank you for guiding these young men into being wonderful citizens.
Let's again thank Chris and Jim. They can put one word after another, can't they?
Yeah, they can.
They described what I do better than I did.
Oh, well, and it's a beautiful thing. And their prayer life is an important part of their future and all of our futures. So thank you for guiding that along the way, right?
I just wanted to add one thing because
Sure.
I think it was so aptly put. First of all, the rectors are really the unsung heroes
They are.
of what makes the Notre Dame education so special. But as one of the rectors, I forget which hall he was in, but he described himself as a stay-at-home priest.
Well, and you put it well. It was your first experience as a parent. And as a parent of a college student, I have to say, knowing that you've got someone like you, Father, looking out for their futures while they're here, this is can be a tumultuous time for these kids.
Well,
that's an important
Father
person to be in
Hesburgh
their life.
always said it was the best job at Notre Dame, so thank you for
Correct.
assuring its future.
Our pleasure.
Well, what a special gift.
Nice job.
Thank you all for being here today, and thank you for joining
you.
us as part of Notre Dame Day.
Thanks for having us.
Well, we want to go to a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to be joined by a former Notre Dame vice president, so we'll see you soon.